shake your booties for black girl nerds.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Black Girl Nerds Talk, a bonus episode. I'm Shenee Howard.
And I'm Liz the Movie Girl.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
Hello everybody. And for our bonus, we're going to be talking about something that's very nostalgic to Liz and I, because this is the very second video we did together where we went in on Sleepy Hollow. If you haven't seen that video, we'll link it in the comments, and we were just raging over Sleepy Hollow and all that had transpired. If people don't know, do you want to give people a review of what happened, Liz, in case they did not know?
About the show, or just
what happened?
Yeah, so Sleepy Hollow was a show about basically a retelling of the legend of Sleepy Hollow, and it was all through the eyes of Ichabod Crane. He was once a Revolutionary War spy who gets killed, but is kept alive, and then kind of has an old man Van Winkle, that man who is old and sleeps forever.
And then wakes up. Yeah.
Van Winkle, something like that. So he sleeps forever and wakes up in modern times. And then it becomes this adventure comedy, historical, what's the word? What's that movie with Nicolas Cage and
National Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure-esque type show with a black female lead, Abby Mills, and they're linked together, and it's supernatural, and it's just was really fun, very, very fun.
Very diverse show.
Very diverse show.
Extremely diverse.
Especially the first season. Really incorporated different cultures into American history, or the telling of it, and then just it fell apart pretty much in the second season, but we still had hope. And the third season it just got even worse, to the point where they get rid of the black female lead character that they had. They had two co-leads, Tom Mison and Nicole Bahari, and she ends up leaving the season near the end of the third season. So it just fell apart, and then they decided to have a fourth season. And this I really took this personally, because maybe some of you know, one of the first video that I did for Black Girl Nerds was, would Sleepy Hollow get canceled? And I told them what they could do to not have the show canceled.
Did they listen to Liz?
No, they did not listen to me. Basically, if you watch that video, which we'll also link below, they did the opposite of everything I said.
Total opposite.
The opposite.
And it's one of those things that sort of Hollywood can't. I think one thing that they always think is that when a show is successful and it includes diversity, that the diversity is just circumstantial, right? So it's the diversity just happens to be there, and that's not sort of built into the success of the show. So the sort of talk around Sleepy Hollow, because it was really popular for a season. It was the most popular show on television, and so they just thought it was random, and they didn't stop and think that maybe it was popular because people were able to see themselves in the character. There was Asian characters, Hispanic characters, black characters, everybody was represented, and maybe that's why people are watching it. But they kept adding more and more white people. Every time you came onto the show,
they literally would kill off a
person of color and replace them with a white person. What? And then they wonder why, and then they're the ratings are down, and then they think that that's circumstantial too. Oh no, it's just life. It's just weird. And I'm no, it's just so frustrating.
It was really funny to watch. It really was, because and you're absolutely right. Every single time there was always an excuse for why. Right. They were just always confused on why things weren't going well.
The writing, it's this, it's that. I was
no, it's because you keep messing up your own show.
Right, you keep killing off characters that people really care about, and then replacing them with characters that, and it's just and it's just so weird to see, because I'm what exactly are you doing? It's they almost are oh, the show's not doing as well, so we need to add more white people, and then that will make it be well. But really, the show didn't start to decline until they started killing off characters because we all realize these people clearly don't know what they're doing. So like then people started to go, and it's like, and people don't understand how powerful it is to see somebody who looks like you on television. Like me and Liz always talk, well, I always talk about this, Liz is not as on this, but like how black people, we grade things on a curve because we just want to see things and we want to see ourselves. So even if a show is not that great, or even if something is like not that good, we'll still support it because it's just like we want to see that representation. And so that's why so many shows are so popular. That's why How to Get Away with Murder is popular, Scandals, but those are still good shows. But like one of the reasons why people love it is because they get to see themselves falling in love, you know, like all these things that are only white people ever do on television, black people and other people of other sort of like racial backgrounds get to do. Like it's just so infuriating that they don't make that connection, that they're like,
and
you know,
it's like, how it's strange. It's really strange because you're clearly modeling casting Nikki Bahari in that role,
right?
Because you see the success of Scandal,
right?
Like that. I mean, it was clear. It was pretty clear.
There were so many shows that came out that year.
There was a lot of shows, and and Scandal is actually going to be ending next.
Oh,
next
thank
season.
God!
Next 7th season. Yes, it's good that it's ending.
It's good.
But that was a very influential show, and one thing that Shonda does know how to do well is to lean into what makes her so successful, which, like you said, the diversity of the shows. Grey's Anatomy was successful because that was a diverse show.
Yes,
Period.
yeah.
End of story.
Right.
Like that is what made people want to watch. It's like, oh, there's a gay character, there's black characters, there's white characters,
black doctors, Asian
like,
doctors,
Asian and a black man.
Yeah, oh my gosh,
and it was just like so much going on, and they're all beautiful too, and it's just like a lot. It's a lot. So you have a great dynamic in this show. You have great casting. I mean, it was like Orlando Jones,
John Cho was in there for a second.
Nick Gonzalez.
Yeah.
It was just like so many people, and it's like, why are you doing this?
It's just so stupid. So yeah, I mean, then they deserve to get canceled because it's like a good example.
It was so funny because we were like, oh, they're gonna cancel it, and then when they gave them another season, I was like, how could you possibly give this show another season?
Damn.
There couldn't have been anybody watching it. And I read an article where they were like, oh yeah, we know that we're gonna lose viewers because we changed kicked off a character. Well, we didn't kick off, but we got rid of a main character in the show, and we're basically changing the whole dynamic. Like, what? No. Like, you just, I mean, but if we're really, really honest, the reason the show died is because Nicole Bahari was taken off. Like, she was such a big...
The show was going poorly anyway. But then people watched because they wanted to see her, because they wanted to see the representation, they wanted to support her. And then when she left, it's like, well, I have no reason to support this show anymore. Like,
nope, there was no reason at all.
It's like so stupid. Yeah. It's so stupid to me. I don't understand. Like, it's like, I don't understand this whole mindset where everything is consequential to, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's like that confirmation bias thing. Like, they'll like do things until like, a little something will confirm their thought about audiences, and they'll ignore all the other stuff. They're like, but there's a white guy in it, so like that means like more white people. That's clearly what they like. And it's like, no, like you have all this other evidence that shows that that's not what people are really supporting and going behind, but you want to take this little piece because like people are so like obsessed with like, I swear this is like analogy for our country. Like people are so obsessed with like whiteness,
a small group of people,
and it's like one group of people, and like versus like we all know that Black people and Hispanic people watch TV more than anybody else, any other demographic. Even though there are more white people here, more Black people and Hispanic people watch TV. So like, what do you think? Like,
and then like all of a sudden, Empire is one of the biggest shows that's come out in years.
Oh my god,
and
it's so
like,
weird.
What?
Like how? Like what a shock. Like
hey, what do you think?
And then and people say, it's so infuriating because people say that the reason why people right, and people will say that it's because of white people, right? They're like, white people like watching Empire and saying Cookie, and I'm like, no. It's a Black show.
No, they don't. Like, it's just, gosh. I mean, not saying that they don't, but
it's not about that. It's not why it's
not
popular,
like,
but that's
I'm
what
sure
they
everyone
think. They literally think that. Yeah.
People like to watch different types of shows. Like
Right.
for example, I'm a fan of Mad Men, or was a fan of Mad Men.
Right.
There's no black people on that show except
Right.
one character, and who had very little to do, even though I really like that character. Her
Yeah.
name was Dawn, and she's played by Tiana Paris. So
Super stylish.
Yes.
I love her red carpet style.
Her Snapchat is amazing.
Oh, I need to follow it.
But like, so it's not just that. I mean, if you're giving people compelling stories and interesting things to look at and interesting character dynamics, people are gonna watch it. So of course that's the thing. But to ignore, I don't know, it's really interesting because it actually makes me think of, and I don't want to go too far into it, but it makes me think of a recent trailer that we reviewed and watched.
We got in trouble.
Yeah, we got kind of, some controversy with this trailer. And I think it was because we mentioned the dynamics of race within the aspects of this trailer. And people always say it's not a race thing, but it is though. But that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's a negative thing, but I feel like people want so badly, especially white people, and in the comments you can tell me if you think I'm wrong, but especially want to always detach race from things. But that is a part of someone's life. That's a part of how someone's going to navigate through the world. And when you try to take that away, or you try to act like it doesn't affect anything, it doesn't matter, it hurts your show and you lose your show.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about, again, like, say whatever you're going to say in the comments, but I mean, that's the sort of thing that it's easy to say that when you're white, because your race is on everything. Like, everything has you on it. You're a part of everything. You're included in everything. So you can easily, separate yourself. Well, you can't even separate yourself, but it's easy for you to tell somebody else to not make race matter, because race will never, ever matter to you. Like, there's no situation in which your race is going to factor in the way that somebody else does. And like, your experience is literally the American story. So everything has you on it. So you can say, oh, it's not about race, because it's not about race for you. It doesn't have to be, because everything is about you, for you, and serves you. But for everybody else, the way we negotiate the world is special. Like, the way we have to do things, the way we go into a room is different. The way we sit down, like, everything is politicalized for people of color. And I think, white people are really afraid of that idea, because, it makes them really uncomfortable, because it's hard to realize that you have something that other people don't, and you can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but it's the reality of it. And I think that's what happened, with the show, is that, like, people watch things and do things for different reasons, and you have to look beyond just like your scope of your perception of what's happening with this show, and see what other people's experiences of it will be. And I think that's why so many of these other shows are so successful, is because they are conscious of, like, these are all the different reasons why somebody's watching the show. I think that's like what Grey's Anatomy does, because they're like, the diversity, the drama, like, they're hitting everybody's, like, I know that Shonda is really thinking of, like, who is watching this show, and, like, why are they watching it? How can I serve each of those individuals in their way? And for Sleepy Hollow, it makes it so maddening that it would just be as easy as just, like, keeping the show the way it was. Like, all you had to do
the way
is just keep it was. Like, you didn't have to change anything.
Frustrating thing, the most of everything is the most frustrating thing. Is like, you had good ratings, people were excited for the show, it had good return ratings when it came back, and you ruined it because you can just keep it a campy, diverse show.
Too many minorities. All right. Well, those were our thoughts, and I would say, like, peace out, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, good riddance, I guess.
Rest in pieces.
It's just such a disappointment.
I know. Let us know what you think of Sleepy Hollow, what you think of the cancellation, what you think of some of the thoughts that we brought up today, and we'll talk to you later.
In trouble again?
Yeah, probably. All right, bye.
Bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.